The story takes place in 1976. The middle-aged woman's name is Jian. She lives with her mother and sister in a small village in Qingdao, China. She has 2 daughters. Her husband, Chang Chao, lives in another city. He married Jian even though his family did not agree, so Jian had to stay with her mother for many years. Now her husband says he will take them to Thailand so they can live together. So Jian decides to take her kids and go to him. Tomorrow she will travel to Chang Chao's city. Before leaving, everyone makes dumplings together. It's her mother's favorite food. She makes great dumplings, but Jian's dumplings taste even better. Later, Jian's aunt comes and gives her the phone number of her cousin Yang Jing, who lives in Hong Kong. Jian can call him if she ever needs help. The next day, Jian reaches Chang Chao's city with her children. Her husband, Mr. Hanzo, comes to the station to pick her up. Jian also sees her mother-in-law there. Then the old woman says something that breaks Jian's heart. She says, "A few years ago, I married my son to a rich girl from Thailand. Now he lives in Thailand to help with his new wife's business. They need a maid to look after her. If you want, you can go to Thailand as their maid." Jian is shocked. She didn't know her husband had married again. She thought they would go to Thailand together with the kids and live as a family. She doesn't know what to do now. After that, Hanzo takes them to a small room in that poor town. He wants to eat Jian's dumplings, so Jian makes dumplings for everyone. While eating, Hanzo says they will leave for Thailand tomorrow. But Jian protests and says, "I can serve you and your family, but I will not be your wife's maid. It's better if you take us to Hong Kong. We can work there and put the kids in school." But Hanzo clearly says he is going to Thailand tomorrow. Then he leaves them alone. The children call him from behind, but he does not look back. Jian feels lost. If she goes home, her mother will be heartbroken. But how will she survive in this strange city? After thinking, she decides to stay and fight for her life. First, she needs a job. But the people here speak differently, so no one understands her well. Finally, she goes to an old couple's shop and writes on paper that she needs work. They show her how to make plastic flowers. The old woman sees that Jian learns very fast. She becomes happy and gives her the job. Jian goes home and works all night. She finishes all the flowers and submits them early in the morning. She gets good money, but she is told that there is no more flower work. This makes her sad, but she quickly becomes happy again when she sees a new job doll fitting has started. She talks to the woman and takes that job too. Once again, she finishes the work in one night. The next morning, when she tries to go deliver the dolls, her younger daughter Peng becomes very sick. Seeing this, her elder daughter Bei says, "You stay with her. I'll take the dolls to the shop." But Bei takes the wrong street and gets lost. She walks everywhere but can't find the shop. Meanwhile, Jian becomes worried at home. After a long time, when Bei still doesn't return, Jian goes to the shop to check. The shopkeeper says the girl came, gave the dolls, and left long ago. Jian goes back home and finds her daughter there. She becomes angry and starts shouting. Then the younger daughter says that her sister got lost and fell down, so she got hurt. Hearing this, Jian hugs her tightly. A little while later, the old couple from the shop comes and tells Jian that the police have entered the area for checking. They check Jian's papers and see that her stay permit for this city has expired. They tell her she must leave immediately and go to Hong Kong. So Jian calls the number her aunt gave her cousin Yang Jing. Then she packs quickly and leaves with her children. The old couple helps them get on a boat. Jian and her daughter say goodbye to these kind people and move forward toward a new and uncertain life. At that time, Hong Kong was more developed. So many people came there illegally from other places. Because of this, unemployment increased, and life became harder. Jian's cousin, Yang Jing, fixes her papers for her. Then he takes them to a house where many people live together in a very small space. The house owner, Hong Jing, gives Jian a room even without advance payment. He also says she doesn't have to pay anything for the first 3 months. The house has a common kitchen that everyone uses. Jian can use that kitchen too. Hearing this, she feels very grateful and goes to her room. The next day, she goes to a hospital to look for a job. Jian was actually a trained nurse, but they tell her that Hong Kong has a new rule. No one from outside the city can get a government job. Feeling disappointed, she keeps looking for small jobs everywhere. Finally, she sees a notice outside a restaurant they are hiring. She tells the manager, "I'm very strong. I can do all kinds of work." Hearing this, the manager takes her to the back of the restaurant. There is a dishwashing job open. Jian agrees without even thinking, but when she sees how dirty the kitchen is, she feels dizzy. She calms herself and first cleans the whole place. Then she starts washing dishes. When she comes home, she tells her elder daughter that she got the job. She must go every morning at 6, so Bei must bring her little sister to school on time. Jian has already put her daughters into school here. Hearing the good news about the job, the house owner Hong Ji calls Jian's cousin. After hearing everything, Yang Jing is also happy, but he says that with such a small salary, it will be hard to pay rent, food, and school costs. So, Yang Jing says his boss's wife has diabetes and needs an injection every morning. Since Jian is a nurse, she can give the injection and earn some extra money. Jian happily agrees. From then on, Jian wakes up every day at 4 in the morning. First, she prays to Hongji's religious idol as per their tradition. Then she goes to give the injection to the old lady. After that, she goes to the restaurant to wash dishes. This is how her tough life continues. One day, while walking in the dark early morning, she bumps into someone. The man gets angry and scolds her. Nearby, the man who works in the house laundry comes and turns on his light. Seeing this, Jian thanks him with deep respect. When Jian gets her first month's salary, she sends some money to her mother. Jian is the only earner in her family. Without her help, her mother and sister would suffer. But sending money home makes it hard for her to pay the full house rent. Still, the house owner Hongji is a very good person. He happily accepts the small amount Jian gives and tells her she can pay the rest little by little whenever she can. Jian feels very lucky to have such kind people around her. When her daughters watch cartoons, Hongji quietly moves aside so the children can watch comfortably. There were also 2 beautiful girls living there who were trying to become models. Everyone loved Jian and her kids except one man. He was always angry. He didn't work at all and lived off his wife's money. Still, he beat his wife every day because she worked outside at night. He thought she was doing something bad. But the man in the next room, the one who gave her a job at the tram station, spoke up. He said, "Your wife is a hard-working and good woman. She cleans the trams at night to earn some extra money." Hearing this, Jian follows the man downstairs and says she also wants a night tram cleaning job. The money from giving injections and dishwashing is not enough, so she needs another job. The man tells her not to worry, he will arrange something. Meanwhile, upstairs, Jian's younger daughter Pang accidentally bumps into that angry man. He gets furious and starts hitting her. Seeing this, the older daughter Bei runs to call her mother. The man curses Jian and her children with terrible words. Hearing this, Jian fights back and starts hitting him. Then Hongji comes and stops them. He warns the man for the last time. Jian takes her kids to the rooftop. Pang says, "We're poor and came from a village, and you work as a dishwasher. That's why my new school friends say mean things to me." Jian feels very hurt but stays calm and says, "We are new here. That's why they talk like that. Very soon your mom will find a better job. Then everyone will love you." While Jian is playing around with her kids, a man comes to the rooftop. He says he lives in the small attic room on the roof. Jian apologizes and tries to leave, but the man says, "You can come to the roof anytime." His name is Zhang, but everyone calls him Uncle Dessert. The kids curiously ask why. Zhang says, "Because I sell sweet desserts." Then he invites them to eat some sweets. The kids help him carry his things. A few days later, with the new year coming, the whole Hong Kong city becomes full of celebration. Jian writes a letter to her mother, but Jian's sister sees the stamp and asks, "Why is Jian still in Hong Kong? Why hasn't she gone to Thailand?" In the letter, Jian lied and wrote that her mother-in-law was very sick, so they were staying a little longer in Hong Kong but would go to Thailand soon. But in truth, her husband had left them forever. Jian was working 3 jobs to survive. She worked all day and even took the night tram cleaning job. At home, Hongji took care of the kids. For New Year, Jian makes dumplings for everyone. Everyone praises how delicious they are. The old man from the tram job brings toys for her daughters. Then they all go downstairs and celebrate the New Year together. Time passes like this. One day, while washing dishes, Jian slips and falls. She tries hard but can't get up. At night, while cleaning the tram, she feels terrible pain. Somehow, she walks through the street, crawls up the stairs, and reaches home. Seeing her condition, the kids call everyone. Hongji quickly takes her to the hospital. The doctor says she has a crack in her spine. She shouldn't do heavy work and needs to rest in the hospital for a few days. Jian says, "Please give me pain medicine. I have 2 children. If I don't work, they will starve." But she still has to stay in the hospital for a few days. During this time, Hongji takes care of the children. After returning home, Jian still cannot walk properly for many days. According to the rules, she should receive some money from the restaurant to cover medical costs. With that money, she could run her household for a while, but the manager refuses. He says they cannot give her anything. Instead, he insults her, calling her a greedy woman pretending to be sick. Meanwhile, the old tram worker tells Jian that the tram owner has decided they will no longer hire people from other cities. This means her night tram cleaning job is gone too. Altogether, Jian falls into deep sadness and terrible hardship. She doesn't even have money to feed her children. She decides to end her life. At that moment, her little daughter comes to her and starts reciting a rhyme. Looking at her children's faces, Jian changes her mind. They ask, "Mom, what happened to you?" Jian says, "I'm very tired. I feel like I'm losing this battle of life." Uncle Dessert, who hears everything from the side, calls the kids and says, "From now on, I'll feed you." Hearing this, Jian starts crying out of gratitude. Uncle Dessert cooks for them and gives them delicious desserts. Jian then asks him where he sells these foods. Uncle Dessert says he sells them near the harbor. The next morning, he takes her there. He says, "Every day at 6:30, we come here. People sell fried chicken, fish balls, soup, and other foods, but no one sells dumplings. You make very good dumplings. You should start this business." Following his idea, Jian first sells her ring. Then, with a lawyer's help, she collects the money the restaurant manager owed her. The next day, Uncle Dessert takes her to an old goods market. There they buy a second-hand food cart. They also buy all the cooking tools she needs. Then they buy meat and eggs for the dumplings. Early next morning, they go to the harbor. Uncle Dessert introduces Jian to everyone. After a while, customers start coming. Everyone else sells something, but no one buys Jian's dumplings. People in that city didn't know what dumplings were. Also, Jian wasn't confident in her own cooking. Then the police arrive and chase all the vendors away. When Jian asks why, they say it's because everyone was selling inside the terminal area where people walk, which is against the rules. So the police chase them away sometimes. Jian didn't sell a single dumpling. They go to the market area and stand there until late at night, but still no one buys from her. The dumplings spoil, so she throws them all into the trash. Jian can't hold back her tears. All her hard work feels wasted, and her last hope seems to be disappearing. When she returns home, she sees the kids are still awake. She scolds them and tells them to sleep. Then she sadly looks outside. Hongji finds out Jian didn't sell anything. So she calls Jian for dinner and says, "I also started from zero. My husband left me the same way yours did. Today was your first day. No one becomes successful in one day. Keep trying. I believe you will succeed. If needed, take me as your assistant. With my loud voice, I'll call all the customers for you." Hearing this support during her worst time, Jian feels truly blessed. The next day, she goes again to sell dumplings. After a long time, a few school students come and ask for dumplings. Jian happily serves them. After taking one bite, they praise the food again and again. Hearing so much praise, Jian becomes overjoyed. Uncle Dessert becomes even happier. Soon many customers gather. When the place becomes crowded, the police come again. All the food sellers run away. While closing her cart, one of Jian's pots falls down. The officer picks it up for her and tells her to hurry and leave. One day, an old man eating her dumplings says, "Your dumplings taste very good, but you need to make them a little more delicate. The dough skin is too thick. It should be thinner and smoother. But that's okay. Street food is never perfect." Jian takes this very seriously. She goes home and tries to make dumplings with thinner skin, but her kids say the taste hasn't changed much. So Jian keeps trying again and again. Every time, she takes the food for Hongji to taste, but nothing becomes perfect. Then Jian tries her own idea. She uses salted water to make the dough. This time, the dumplings become much tastier and close to perfect. Slowly, her sales start increasing. Within a few days, her dumplings become famous in the whole area. One day, the local Don arrives with his gang. He says that anyone who wants to do business there must pay them money every month. One of the thugs tries to take Jian's daughter. Jian gets extremely angry and grabs a knife to attack him. Seeing her anger reminds the Don of his own mother, who protected them when they were young just like Jian. He asks to taste Jian's dumplings. After eating, he tells his men to eat too. Everyone is amazed by the taste. The Don tells his assistant to pay the bill. The assistant pays for 20 plates of dumplings. Then the Don says, "My mother's birthday is coming. I'm ordering 500 dumplings." Hearing this, Jian thanks him. A few days later, the police come again. But this time, they arrest everyone and take them to the station. Their food carts are taken too. The officer says blocking the terminal walkway and selling street food is a crime, and everyone must face punishment. Hearing this, Jian's elder daughter protests. "Why should we be punished for such a small thing?" Jian stops her and apologizes. She says, "Their school bags are tied to the police van. Please free the bags. Punish us, but they need their bags to study. I sell food on the streets so I can raise and educate them." Officer Hu understands their pain. He releases everyone along with their food carts. He also allows them to sell food in an organized way inside the terminal. One woman's son was very sick, so Officer Hu gives her money from his own pocket for hospital fees. Everyone thanks him for his kindness. The next day, Officer Hu comes to the terminal. Jian thinks he came to arrest them for keeping the shop open too late, but Hu says, "Don't worry. I came to eat dumplings." He had heard many people praise praise Jian's food. After eating, he also says the dumplings taste amazing. He says dumplings aren't available in this city, but in his hometown, Qingdao, they are very popular. Jian says she is also from Qingdao. Then the officer asks her to pack dumplings for his kids, pays the money, and leaves. After this, almost 5 years pass. The harbor becomes inactive. Jian leaves a note there saying her delicious dumplings can now be found near the amusement park. Jian has opened a small shop there, and her dumplings have become even more popular. People stand in long lines. One day, a Japanese man comes. Like everyone else, he becomes a fan of her dumplings. One day, Jian meets Officer Hu again. He was out eating noodles with his kids. Jian tells him she has opened a new shop. She takes them to the shop. Later, she invites Officer Hu and his kids to her home. Hu's daughter says that after her mother left, she never ate such tasty food again. Hu's wife had left him several years ago. A few days later, Hu comes to Jian's shop with a form. He wants to enroll his kids and Jian's kids together in a swimming training center. A year later, Jian visits her village with her children. Until now, her mother believed Jian was working as a nurse in a government hospital, according to her qualifications, and living with her husband and mother-in-law in Hong Kong. But for the first time, she learns that the day Jian left home, her husband abandoned her. And all these years, Jian fought alone and finally built her own business. Hearing this, her mother cries uncontrollably. A few more months pass. Jian comes home with painful hands after making dumplings all day. Hongji massages her hands for relief. But for some reason, all the shops around the amusement park must remain closed for a few days. So Jian decides to do home delivery. She asks to use Hongji's telephone. Hongji gladly agrees. Her business continues to run well even from home. One day, Hongji says, "I think Officer Hu likes you. You can marry him. That way your children and his children won't grow up without a mother or father, and you will get a good man in your life." Meanwhile, Officer Hu asks Jian's daughter Bei where her mother spends time on holidays. Bei says that whenever her mom has free time, she goes to the cemetery. Hearing this, Hu goes straight to the cemetery. He asks Jian why she's here when she could be anywhere else. Jian says, "After all the rush and struggle of life, when I get a little free time, the quiet and peaceful atmosphere here feels like the best place to rest." Hu tells her that he plans to move to Canada with his children. The education and living standards there are better, so he wants to take Jian's children with him too. Jian realizes Hu truly likes her. Hu says, "After standing all day at the terminal, when you would lean against the pillar for a little rest, waiting for the last ferry to come, I would secretly watch your worried face. And I thought my children need a mother like this." He reaches out his hand, but Jian does not take it. One day, a girl comes and tells Jian that her boss wants to meet her. Jian goes to the office and sees that the boss is the same Japanese man who became a huge fan of her dumplings. He tells Jian, "We have a big supermarket that sells all kinds of items. We want to sell your delicious dumplings there. For that, we want to give you a factory so you can produce enough dumplings for our demand." Jian happily accepts the offer. Later, in a joyful celebration, she opens her new factory with her well-wishers. She hires a few staff to speed up the dumpling making process, but Jian is always there supervising everything. Meanwhile, Officer Hu brings her immigration forms for Canada. He still wants to take Jian with him. Jian invites Hu and his children and explains that she wants to focus on her business. Moving to Canada is not possible for her. But Jian also has feelings for Hu because, when he left, she stood by the window and watched him from afar. One day she goes to the factory and finds that her staff made the dumpling skins too dry and too thick. She gets angry and tells them to throw away all those dumplings. Because of this, she cannot deliver to the supermarket, and she suffers a small loss. But Jian refuses to compromise on quality. Slowly, more supermarkets and superstores offer to sell her dumplings. Jian agrees only on one condition: the packaging and brand name must belong to her. Following this rule, Jian's dumplings spread across supermarkets all over the country. One day, Jian gets a call from her village asking her to return quickly. When she reaches home, she learns her mother has passed away. She breaks down in tears but gathers herself again and continues moving forward. She opens a bigger factory than before. Now even the hard job of kneading dough is done by machines. Hongji says, "Then I guess I won't need to massage your hands anymore." Jian smiles and says, "No. From now on, I will massage your hands." Then Hongji gives her the statue she used to pray to during her hardest days. One day, on her way home, Jian sees a very poor man picking up bottles by the roadside. She looks closely and becomes overjoyed. It is Uncle Dessert. He had moved to another city, and after many years, she finally found him again. She brings him to her factory. Jian says, "From now on, I will take care of you. You will stay with us." because during the worst time of my life, you stood by me like a father. I owe you forever. Jian serves him dumplings and asks if they still taste the same. He says the taste is even better than before. The next day, Jian sees a child eating a burger, and she buys burgers for everyone in the factory. Then she tells them, "This burger is an American food, and now it has reached our city. In the same way, I want my dumplings to reach every city in the world." To help fulfill this dream, her daughter gives her an idea. One of her daughter's friends works at a company that sends frozen foods from one country to many others. Jian agrees and makes a deal with that company. Because of this, her dumplings will spread to many countries through international branding. While giving a speech that day, Jian says, "My dream has come true today. I want to thank everyone who helped make this dream possible. Thank you to the old couple who trusted me, gave me a job, and helped me enter this city. Thank you to my cousin Yang Jing, who helped me so much. Thank you to Hongji, who let me live in her house for free and cared for me and my children like an elder sister when I was at my weakest. Thank you to the old man who gave me the tram cleaning job so I could earn extra money. And when I was about to end my life because I couldn't feed my children, Uncle Dessert fed them and gave me the idea to sell dumplings. He stayed by my side like a shadow. I also thank police officer Mr. Hu. Without his permission, we could never have stayed in the terminal and run our business." Then Jian takes her daughters to the harbor and remembers all her old memories. This was where some school students first bought food from her. This was where she used to run from the police. This was where an old man told her to improve her dumplings and make the skin thinner. Then she stands beside the same pillar where she used to lean and wait for the last ferry after a long day of work. Life shows people so many things. If someone has effort and dedication, even a person who starts from the footpath can reach the highest level of success. Thinking these thoughts, the three of them burst into tears. This story is the true story of a Chinese woman named Jian, who made dumplings famous all over the world. That's why she was given the title, the Dumpling Queen. Jian passed away in 2019, but her name Jian, the Dumpling Queen, remains written in history in golden letters. With this beautiful moment, today's drama comes to an end. Don't forget to let me know how you liked the drama, and if you enjoy my stories, make sure to like and comment to stay with me. Now I'm leaving, but I'll see you soon with a new drama story. Until then, take care of yourselves.